Silent Hill stands alone. The only game that's ever truly haunted me. The PS1 had its share of horrors, but none that crawled this deep under the skin. This masterclass didn't just shape my love of horror games, it defined it. Over 25,000 players have attempted this retro achievement set, yet just 1% have prevailed. And I'm proud to be one of them. After the unbelievable 1-2 punch of Silent Hill 2 Remake and Silent Hill F, both games I intend to cover, I know many of you are waiting for the remake with the same anticipation I am. Today's video is both a ruthlessly taxing challenge and a celebration of the birth of psychological horror. I first experienced Silent Hill in the most elaborate way imaginable. On the 16th of July 1999, I was just 12 years old, staying in my dad's caravan for the weekend. It meant I had no interruptions to distract me. It was a windy evening, and the unpredictable gusts slamming against the caravan walls and stirring the trees above created an eerie tension. It was exhilarating and terrifying in equal measure. I stayed up all night to finish the game. Akira Yamaoka's revolutionary soundtrack still eats at me today. From the moaning echoes of the sewers to the panicked industrial bangs and unsettling noises so strange that staff initially mistook them for a bug. This set includes 5 endings, melee challenges in total darkness, full runs without a map, and the dreaded 10-star rank. With requirements so strict I'd never achieved it before despite dozens of attempts. Harry and his wife find an abandoned baby and raise her, Cheryl, as their own. Years later, Harry's driving to Silent Hill with Cheryl for a vacation when a police officer passes them on a motorcycle. Moments later, he spots the same bike crashed at the roadside and swerves to avoid a child standing in the middle of the road, losing control and blacking out. When he wakes, Cheryl isn't at his side. Through the fog and snow, we see her figure vanishing into the distance. We chase her footprints into an alley and slip through a rusted gate. We're greeted by the mangled remains of something, and as we continue through the alley, a siren begins to wail. The forcefully irregular camera, the sound, and it's suddenly getting dark. It's an unbelievable opener. Harry flicks on his lighter. The sound intensifies. A broken wheelchair, a blood-soaked gurney, and a disfigured body strung up in barbed wire. A true descent to insanity. Suddenly, knife-wielding childlike monsters emerge from the shadows. We try to flee, but the gate we entered through is gone, replaced by a high fence bathed in fresh crimson blood. A world that shifts when we're not looking. There's no escape. We lose consciousness, and everything fades to black. Harry wakes in a nearby cafe with Sybil, an officer from the next town. The place is deserted. He doesn't know what just happened, but his paternal instincts kick in. We have to find Cheryl. We have to brave the fog, snow, and isolation. The impact of this game is already undeniable. Welcome to Silent Hill. Before we leave the cafe, Sybil gives us a gun. The fittingly named What a Nightmare pops, and we begin. A tingling shiver of excitement runs down my spine as I pick up a health drink and a kitchen knife. There's a broken radio on the table and another health drink, a torch, and a map of the town next to a notepad, which is our method for saving in this twisted horror. I equip the gun for safety, check the map, and head for the door. Suddenly, the sound of static and ringing comes from the broken radio. My heart starts racing. The windows shatter. Our first foe, the air screamer. Good job we had the gun. We take the radio as our early warning system to the dangers we have yet to face. And with the monstrosity dealt with and more questions than answers, we head into the fog. Our only lead is that hellish alleyway, so reluctantly it's time to retrace our steps. Before we continue, there's a hidden options menu worth mentioning. On the options screen, pressing all 4 shoulder buttons at once unlocks a secret menu. I'd recommend reversing the walk-run control so you don't have to hold square for most of the game, and turning brightness down to 0. On Next Fear playthroughs, the game's version of New Game Plus, this menu also lets you increase ammo pickups and toggle a self-view mode I'll show you later. A bench next to the cafe has 2 boxes of handgun ammo to collect. It's a strange place to find them, but I'm not questioning anything when our only other weapon is a tiny kitchen knife. The fog seems to physically weigh on me, and the cold air bites at my lungs. As we head to the alley, the radio rings out and we hear the wings of another screamer, but we keep going as we're vulnerable in the open. The falling snow feels isolating, and a groaner nearly gets me as we pass through the gate. I breathe a sigh of relief as the world doesn't turn dark on me this time. The alley is different again. More bullets. Blood. And a note giving us our next objective. A recurring series weapon, the steel pipe, now ours. Not the most powerful, but certainly better than the kitchen knife. Silent Hill's melee combat is awkward and clunky, and honestly, I think this is by design. We have the means to fight back, but it's risky to do so. Taking no chances, I shoot, then stomp the groaner. There are several cumulative kill-based achievements, though outside of special weapons, you don't need to worry, as over 100 kills by melee and 100 by shooting are required for the 10-star rank anyway. Nonetheless, stomping an enemy after shooting counts as a melee kill, as the fatal blow determines this. I strongly advise switching to the pipe because we're going to need those bullets later. If you're new to the game, take a few practice swipes. We deal with another groaner and discover the road in some directions is simply gone. To the far north on Bachman Road, we discover our vehicle and a health drink, then head into the nearby convenience store for some health drinks, a first aid kit, and to save. Health drinks restore a small amount of health, and first aid kits much more. We need to collect 140 items for another achievement, but again, this is a requirement for a 10-star rank later. If you're worried about collectibles, my full 10-star rank run is linked in the description below. Another screamer attacks us at the east end of Finney Street. We discover a key of lion in the boot of an abandoned police car and grab more bullets before attending to our wounds and heading south down Elroy Street. We cross a precarious wooden plank to find a key of Scarecrow in a blood-soaked letterbox. Down Matheson Street, there are a couple of dead ends where we find more ammo next to some bins, and directly north from here, quite a way down the alley, we discover a gate we can enter. We're greeted with a sickening scene. Blood splattered on a basketball backboard, and the cold head of a dog lies on the floor. Better not think how this happened. We pick up a key of Woodman and a health drink before leaving as quickly as possible. We head into the second of those dead ends and take out the first groaner before finishing off the other 2 with the handgun. In most situations, when faced with several enemies, it's best to switch to a gun or engage in tactical retreat. We nab the first aid kit, and just past the junction to Levin Street on Matheson, we find more notes. Doghouse, Levin Street. Note, it's required to read this before checking the doghouse. More groaners. As the life leaves its body, we find a house key hidden in the doghouse. We take it and head inside. We grab the first aid kit and check a door. We can't open it yet. We stock up on bullets before seeing a map by the back door, showing the location of the keys we collected as a hint for first playthroughs. We use the 3 keys to gain access to the back garden, unlocking keys for Eclipse. Suddenly, it's dark again. That same crawling dread floods back, thicker than the fog. We grab 2 more health drinks and enter the alleyway behind to start heading south towards the school. Enemies are more numerous in the dark. We're mauled but fight back, earning knife to meet you. We keep heading south and cross Matheson Street into the next alley. As we exit, we head west on Block Street, then south on Midwich Street. We're nearly at the school now, but we stop just past the entrance to check the school bus, where we find more health drinks and a chance to save. More groaners guard the entrance, and as we enter the school, a small part of me is relieved to be inside, until I notice the deafening silence. A map of the school is on the bench to the left. We briefly check the map before heading to the infirmary for a health drink, a first aid kit, and another save. It's been an hour and the tension is palpable. The reception desk is deserted, save for 3 notes. The notes mention times, places, and a hint. 10 o'clock, alchemy laboratory, gold in an old man's palm, the future hidden in his fist, exchange for sage's water. I'll read the other clues as we progress. There's a malicious looking painting with strewn up bodies and a bizarre door in the staff room behind reception along with more handgun bullets. We enter the courtyard. The radio sounds. To our right is a clock tower with 2 recesses. I draw the handgun to take down the childs. They're best tackled from a distance as they have considerable reach. While aiming, tapping left or right changes which enemy is targeted, though Harry usually aims towards the enemy nearest. Usually. We ensure they're truly dead before leaving. To the far north, we grab more handgun bullets and discover a larval stalker. Thankfully, despite triggering the radios, these can't hurt, only haunt. It's time to head to the 2nd floor. In the lab equipment room, we discover and pocket a chemical, and in the adjacent chemistry lab, we discover a strange statue. We use the chemical on the hand and score Old Man's hand and a gold medallion. We take care of a child in the hall and explore the 2nd floor. There's a music room with a piano, but it's locked. Something is trying to escape from a locker. Just a cat. Oh boy. We head back downstairs to the 1st floor and unlock the door, regaining access to the reception area. Best save while we're here. Back in the courtyard, we place the gold medallion. The clock changes. Back to that earlier note, 12 o'clock. A place with songs and sound. A silver guidepost is untapped in lost tongues, awakening at the ordained order. We return upstairs to the music room. There's a long message on the blackboard written in blood. A tale of birds without a voice. Each bird corresponds to a piano key which is now accessible. Blood marks the relevant notes. We have to use the message to decipher the order in which to play the broken keys. Broken notes is our reward. A silver medallion drops to the floor. We pocket it and return to the courtyard clock tower. Here's the last note from earlier. 5 o'clock. Darkness that brings the choking heat. Flames render the silence, awakening the hungry beast. Open time's door to beckon prey. This hints at the boiler room. We head to the basement. The place instills dread. We press the switch. The boiler roars to life. That sounded like something opening. A final visit to the courtyard. The clock tower hatch is open and we enter. We're getting somewhere now. Somewhere is definitely coming.
Where am I? Have I been here before? I don't remember this being here before.
The other world beckons. This place mirrors the school's layout, but everything else is a twisted, sinister non-reality. Enemies are more numerous and dangerous here. Best stay on our toes. A new enemy appears, creepers. They don't deal much damage, but they're fast. A couple of shots takes them down, though you can avoid them by keeping your torch off. To the far north, we pick up some ammo and a first aid kit. This gigantic fan, caked with dirt and blood, is something I'll never forget. We don't ask questions. We move on. In the storage room, we find a rubber ball. The metal echoes our footsteps as we pass through the deserted hallway. We enter the northeast 1st floor classroom and pick up a strange picture card from the table. In the next classroom, we're ambushed by several childs and get our next melee award. Far better for killing 50. In the lobby, a suspended cage and a wheelchair. We pick up an ampoule. These are rare and fully heal Harry, so they're best saved for boss battles. The infirmary thankfully has a health drink and a notepad. Definitely time to save. The room behind reception is completely different. We pick up some bullets before being maliciously greeted by the same door and the strewn up bodies from that earlier grotesque painting. There's an ensanguined horizontal slot. We use the picture card to gain access. The next hall contains one of the most unexpected and fantastic twists I've ever experienced in a game. First, we enter the boys' toilets. As we slowly push open the cubicle door, we're greeted by a twisted sight. Leonard Rhine, the monster, lurks. Those of you who've seen the film will remember a scene depicting a similar image. In any case, we're here for the shotgun lying next to him. It's when we enter and exit the girls' toilets that we're suddenly transported to the second floor in a disorientating twist. A huge chain link fence blocks access to the northern hallway. In the boys' room upstairs, we find more handgun ammo and our first shotgun shells. In the ground floor northwest teacher's room, there are several disconnected phones on the table. As we leave,
Cheryl!
in the locker room, that one gets me every time. We collect the library reserve key from the corpse. Our search continues and we head to the roof. We can see a key in the drain. There's a valve nearby, but before using it we need to place the rubber ball we found earlier in the hole so the water can flow to the drain with the key. Back in the courtyard we collect the classroom key from beside the drain. The library reserve key grants us access to the second floor northeast hall where we use the classroom key. This is another extremely dangerous room with several childs to take down. We head straight through to the southeastern classroom and pocket a health drink before leaving through the southern exit and heading downstairs. From here we unlock the chain link gate and head to the infirmary for one of the most important saves in the game. But first, I'd advise equipping the shotgun. Back through the gate and downstairs we first enter the storage room for more shotgun shells and an ampoule. In the boiler room we're greeted by a valve and gate puzzle. Take it from me, the fastest solution is to move the right valve left twice and then the left valve right once. Brace yourselves, it's time for our first boss and this one can kill in one bite. The gate is open. We reluctantly descend. A body burns above a bizarre contraption and from the darkness, Splithead emerges. It lunges when we get too close. Best to fire repeatedly with the shotgun and, after several hits, liquid seeps from its head as it partially opens. As Splithead prepares to attack, its jaws stretch wide. We have to shoot directly into its mouth while keeping enough distance not to get swallowed. Thankfully, on normal difficulty, it's over quickly, netting us Who's Afraid of a Reptile for defeating it. And target practice unlocks as our 20th gun kill. We see a figure as the world shifts back. We're in the school's boiler room once again. A church bell echoes ominously in the distance. There's a K. Gordon key lying on the ground. With nothing more to go on, we mark our map and set off once again. Curiously, as we leave, we have to unlock the door. Twice. Checking the map and key, we're directed to the southwest block, so we make our way up the alley through the oppressive fog. The sight of blood is becoming worryingly familiar. We shoot the groaner and the camera shifts, drawing our focus to an unlocked gate. We enter, use the K. Gordon key, pass through the apartment, make our way south down Levin Street into Bradbury, grab a health drink from the bench and head north into the alley. We're stalked by more screamers, so we take them down and take note of a chainsaw, though we don't have access to it on this playthrough. Before entering the church, it's really important if you're playing in widescreen with PGXP to turn them both off first, otherwise the game will crash. There are 2 more spots where this happens and the next one is nearby, so personally I just leave it off until after we lower the bridge. The following conversation is pretty wild. Dahlia Gillespie talks in cryptic riddles that don't make much sense yet. She directs us to the hospital and it's vital we pick up the Flowros and Drawbridge key. We grab the health drink and move on. After taking down a groaner, we can enter the open garage. In subsequent playthroughs, there'll be a gas tank here that allows us to refuel a special weapon. For now, we grab some handgun ammo and exit. If you need more ammo, head south on Elroy Street, then bear right where the road falls away. Next to the truck are more bullets. We continue east along Block Street, nabbing a first first aid kit and some shells hidden cleverly at the bottom of the steps. As we reach the drawbridge, note the small room below contains another special weapon, the rock drill, but no gas this time. Upstairs we pick up the shopping district map, a health drink, and use the drawbridge key to lower the bridge. After leaving the control tower, it's safe to re-enable PGXP and widescreen. If you're wondering what that is, it fixes those wobbly textures the PS1 is famous for. As soon as we cross the bridge, there's a health drink on the opposite side of the road, and back on the south side some more handgun bullets, which I deliberately leave until after the hospital on my 10-star rank run. We continue south on Crichton Street, and as we turn into Kuntz Street we hear faint gunfire. We enter the hospital gates and narrowly avoid a groaner on the way in. Inside, Akira Yamaoka's unnerving soundtrack immediately sets the tone. That, combined with the idea of a twisted nightmare hospital, gives me a sinking feeling. A man sits next to the lifeless body of a screamer, strangely the only internal location we ever see one.
Do you work here?
I'm Dr. Michael Kaufmann. I work at this hospital.
The stiff conversation somehow enhances the tone and works in the game's favour. Kaufmann seems as clueless as we are. From here we can make our way through to the reception desk to grab the hospital map and a first aid kit. We pick up a basement map from the doctor's office and a basement key from the conference room next door. We're going for the best ending on this playthrough, so it's imperative to collect the plastic bottle from the kitchen, there's a health drink here too, and use it in the doctor's office to gather some of the strange liquid from the floor. Suddenly, it's pitch black in the basement. It's best to use the gun to take out the creepers before turning on the generator, which grants us access to the lift. This next twist is the most memorable I've ever experienced in a game. Pure genius! Having already searched the first floor and basement, we head to the second floor, but the lock's jammed. Just the third floor left then. The lock's jammed? What? Where do we go now? As we enter the lift, a fourth floor button suddenly appears. What the f***? Talk about an atmospheric gut punch. What lies on the fourth floor? The door locks behind us. Every lock is jammed. We have no choice but to keep moving through the only door we can. It's dark again. The soundtrack changes. A new kind of hell begins. The radio screams, and we're introduced to puppet nurses, who might as well be called bullet sponges given it usually takes 6 to 8 handgun rounds to put them down for good. Thankfully, a few well-aimed swings of the pipe are enough to get by. Again, we're surrounded by crud and rust. I can almost taste the metal in my mouth. For some reason, room 301 has, of all things, an empty birdcage. Room 302 has a VCR, some shells, and a save point. A small mercy right now. In this playthrough, I chose to enter the basement via the first floor to grab a new weapon that makes quick work of enemies here. For the 10-star rank, it's better to do the third, first, then second floors before heading to the basement. Reaching the first floor, we encounter our first puppet doctor. Similar to the nurses, but even tougher to take down. A few steps back are needed to avoid being stabbed. Backed up the stairs, I chose a quick fatality. The main hallway houses another doctor who soaks up even more bullets, and I take out another in the medicine room. Access to the examination room is locked, but we hear high heels? More bullets in the south office. The kitchen houses another puppet doctor, a health drink, and the director's office now features a save point and a plate of Queen. As we enter the basement, we're attacked by more nurses and finally make it to the generator room, where we pick up an emergency hammer. We can't move while readying it for attack, but it's a small trade-off for the unbelievable reach and power it has. It's by far the best melee weapon in the game, which is why I made a beeline for it this time. The storeroom is locked, so we go to the only door left, the morgue. Here we're ganged up on by 2 nurses. When there's more than one, they'll grab us, forcing a mash of the action button to break free before we're stabbed. For time's sake, I switched to the handgun for the first, then downed the second with a single swing of the hammer. There's a health drink and an ampoule here, and God only knows what sight lies under each of the sheets on the gurney. We take the lift back up to the first floor, as I'd forgotten to raid the vending machine for not 1 but 3 health drinks. Access to the second second and third floor is locked from this end, so the only choice is to head back to the stairs and up to the third floor. Room 304 houses a nurse and a health drink, plus a steel plate screwed to the wall. The men's toilet has a plate of turtle, while the ladies' is locked, so we proceed to the third floor east hallway. Here, a narrow metal walkway with exposed piping and a sheer drop waits for us. We deal with both nurses and enter the storage room. There's more ammo, a blood pack, which is kind of odd but we take it anyway, and another first aid kit. Access to the adjoining room is blocked, so we enter room 306. Here we grab a plate of cat from the wall before backtracking and heading down to the second floor. We down another nurse and notice a weird plaque on the wall. The Grim Reaper's list? Room 204 is where we use the blood pack. Strange tentacles block our access to the plate of Hatter behind it, the last plate we need for our next puzzle. We hastily take it and enter room 201, which has a nurse and a lighter, which we pocket. We enter the nurse centre and we're greeted by a poem on the wall. Clouds flowing over a hill, sky on a sunny day, tangerines that are bitter, lucky four-leaf clover, violets in the garden, dandelions along a path, unavoidable sleeping time, liquid flowing from a slashed wrist. That escalated quickly. There are 4 indentations on the door next to it and 4 square colours too. The poem corresponds to the colours. Starting with clouds, which are white, and going clockwise, we place the plate of turtle top right, plate of Hatter bottom right, plate of cat bottom left, and finally the plate of queen top left. If it helps, the way I remembered this without checking is simply blue, green, yellow, red, or BGYR, bugger. And with that, Harry in Wonderland pops. In the second floor east corridor, we take care of 2 more nurses and enter the operating prep room for 2 more, and another horrible drop. The operating room itself has yet another nurse and, more importantly, a basement storeroom key on the gurney behind. The intensive care unit holds a jar of disinfecting alcohol, so we take it and proceed. Finally, in room 206, we collect a first aid kit from a chair and take the lift back down to the basement. We use the key and stock up on ammo before noticing skid marks on the floor. We investigate and find a hidden door. In the next room, there's a hatch tangled with overgrown roots, so we use the disinfecting alcohol and the lighter to start a small fire. We don't have a map here, but we take down 3 more nurses, then head into the only unlocked door for 2 more. The first door on the right has another nurse, and we score the aptly titled Hammerin Harry for our 90th melee kill. There's a VCR on the gurney, so we take it with us. At this point, I headed all the way back to the 3rd floor to watch the VCR in room 302. I'm not sure what I was expecting. Somewhat disappointed, I returned to the strange basement hallway. The first door on the left is nothing but an empty space, and the sound of breaking glass is disconcerting. The last door on the left is the only other open one. A picture of Alessa sits beside a filthy, uncomfortable looking bed along with an examination room key. I breathe a small sigh of relief as we head back to the medicine room to use the examination room key. The final door, meaning the hospital, is finally behind us. The only question left is how much worse the horrors to come will be. Under the desk, a nurse cowers. Realizing we're human, she rushes to hug us. Loneliness is ours, and we're introduced to Lisa Garland. There's a warmth to her voice, a softness that, just for a moment, puts me at ease.
A living nightmare.
Have you seen a little girl around here?
I can't say that I have. I'm sorry.
They discuss the basement, but Lisa is forbidden to go down there. Suddenly, the siren again. We lose consciousness. When we come to, Dahlia appears.
The town is being devoured by darkness.
I don't understand a word of this.
The other church in this town, that is your destination. Only you can stop it now.
Hey, wait!
We pick up the antique shop key Dahlia left on the desk. Still more questions than answers. We take care of 2 groaners as we leave, and Yamaoka's score once again sends shivers down my body. I absolutely love it, though I'm not sure love is the right word given it makes me feel both unsettled and isolated at once. Back on Kuntz Street, we head east into the nearby alley. There's a health drink and some ammo here. We're introduced to rompers, otherworldly, ape-like creatures with unnerving agility and erratic movements. Best to dispatch these as quickly as possible as they can easily pin us down. We turn left and head north up Simmons Street towards the antique shop. I run as fast as I can. I can't stand this unearthly noise. Thankfully, it isn't far. We unlock the door and enter. Complete silence. I record my progress again. Various pieces of furniture sit sadly in the dark and we spot a cabinet that's been moved. As we start to push it, Sybil suddenly arrives.
Harry!
Sybil?
Things are worse than I thought. It's nuts.
What about my daughter? Did you see her?
I did see a girl.
Was it Cheryl?
I went after her, but she vanished. She was heading towards the lake. It was like she was walking on thin air. What's this?
Maybe there's something back there.
I'll cover you from here. Be careful.
Harry tries to ask Sybil about the other world, like it's some kind of hallucination, but Sybil seems even more confused, so instead we enter the hole. The room in the back contains an unusual altar.
Maybe this is the other church.
On the wall to the side is another melee weapon, an axe. We pick it up, though it isn't one I personally use. As we're about to exit...
What the?
Sybil hears Harry and goes to check, but he's just... gone.
Where am I? Lisa? Then I'm in the hospital?
You were having a bad dream.
Harry asks Lisa about Dahlia, and apparently she's known to be a local crazy lady. Her child apparently died in a fire.
Well, she says the town is being devoured by the darkness. Do you have any idea what she's talking about?
Yes, I think I do.
Lisa explains a lot of the locals were into the occult and black magic. Several people connected with the town died in accidents, and so it was said to be a curse.
Was that another dream? Did I pass out again?
It feels like we're losing our grip on reality. It's hard to tell what's real and what isn't anymore. Are we stuck in a nightmare? We're in the antique shop again, but the strung-up corpse, barbed wire and dried blood on the metal flooring make it clear something is very wrong. Out on the street, hell seems to be bleeding into everything. We kill a romper and just run. Panic sets in here. I don't want to be in this place. A new adversary, wormheads. Like groaners, only faster and more deadly. Thankfully, I catch the first one before it has a chance, but two more flank me and I'm less fortunate. There's a gap in the roller shutter of the shopping centre, so we take our first chance to escape from the street. As we're about to ascend the escalator... Odd symbols flicker across the TV sets. It's pure madness. We climb the escalator and our radio breaks the silence. As we move towards whatever it is, the sound intensifies. Suddenly, the floor gives way and we're thrust into our next boss battle, Twin Feeler. The first thing you should always do here is pick up the rifle. The first time I played Silent Hill, I missed it, and it's a serious miscalculation. For Twin Feeler, I'd suggest using the shotgun. Try to strafe as it'll spit at us when it emerges, then fire 2 or 3 shotgun shells before it retreats underground. The final blow nets us sandcastles as it escapes through a glass door. As we exit the other side of the shopping centre, we're attacked by a night flutter. These have very high health, so the best tactic is to run away, though a few shots can send them off course. We turn right, heading back towards the hospital. The ground falls away as we navigate more harsh metal walkways, and giant fans can just about be seen through the thick blackness. We reach Sagan Street and have to head west. This place is far too dangerous to linger, so my best advice is to run on any difficulty above normal. We get triggered for our 50th weapon kill and hastily continue west. The signal to turn left is Galaxy, then number 1 on the shop signs. Wilson Street is a dead end, so we keep going and head south on Crichton Street. We reach the hospital grounds where 2 more wormheads are waiting. After taking care of them, we save and finally meet Lisa again.
Thank God you came back. I was scared to be here all alone.
Lisa, can you tell me how to get to the lake?
There's a waterworks over by my old elementary school. There's an underground tunnel out there used for inspections or something. I remember hearing it runs all the way to the lake.
If there's a chance, I've got to try.
Harry, don't go!
Lisa understandably doesn't want to be left alone, but we have to find Cheryl. Harry offers to take her with him, but she insists on staying put. He vows to come back for her and we leave. No choice but to follow the path up the steps. We're about to face Float Stinger. I didn't realise it at the time, but Roomin' in Love explained in a video I've linked below that Float Stinger has a lot of invincibility frames after taking damage. The best method is to fire with the shotgun, wait a couple of seconds, then shoot again. You can tell if the hit registered by watching the blood on the ground. If it stays, it connected. If it disappears quickly, it didn't. This doesn't seem to apply on normal mode though, as the blood stays visible. Keep alternating strafes regardless, as it spits dangerous acid and constantly tries to sting us, both of which shred our health fast. With the final shot, the siren sounds and I'll kill you is ours as Float Stinger dies and the mist descends. We're on the roof opposite the hospital, and with no time to waste, we head west along Kuntz, north on Crichton, then west on Sagan, back to Old Silent Hill. We reach the waterworks and use the hammer to smash the old lock. I'm completely consumed with fear every time I descend this ladder. The sewers are, for me, the scariest place in Silent Hill, and the only video game to top it is Silent Hill 2 Remake, which I'll undoubtedly cover in the future. To make matters worse, the radio doesn't work down here and there's no map waiting at the start. Thankfully, I've played the game enough times to memorise the route. We proceed down the pitch black tunnel under torchlight and kill a couple of creepers before discovering a new kind of monster. Hanged Scratchers. They're extremely deadly if we get close, so it's best to navigate the sewers gingerly. The first 2 flank us at the end of the tunnel. The death animation is particularly slow, so it's worth learning it to know when to stop firing. They tend to freeze, then slowly drop to the ground. And soon they'll attack us from above too. Delightful. Make a left, then another left. At the very end there's rifle ammo, which is quite scarce. On the other side of the thick wastewater are some shotgun shells, handgun bullets and a health drink. We proceed up the other side and have to cross the water twice before reaching the gate. The sounds here make me feel ill. Disgusting moans and noises I can't even describe. Just listen. Thankfully, we reach a worker's post and collect the sewer map and a sewer key. Even with a map and in a relatively small area, it's still somehow confusing. We continue on the only way we can, through the gate, then unlock the next one. We're doubling back on ourselves on the far side of the water. That's the sound of another scratcher from above, the only warning we get. It's best to move away, turn and shoot. We cross the water and keep heading west, then cross again to head south. We cross a third time and keep following the path until we're forced across the water once more. I briefly check the map to ensure we're on course. We continue south and use the sewer key. Moments later, more creepers appear. Thank God we're almost there. We pick up a first aid kit and climb the ladder on the opposite side. We're not nearly there after all. And I'd genuinely forgotten this part. My heart sinks. We have to head south, then east. As we continue down the narrow tunnel, it feels like we're inviting ourselves into the dark. The game isn't letting up, and I'm honestly getting tired, but we have to keep going. A health drink and some ammo are our signal to head south. We're getting closer to the exit now, and frankly, I just want out. Another scratcher goes down in 4 shots, and our only choice is west. I know from memory the gate to the ladder is locked. I checked it anyway. I guess there's always hope. We're approaching emotional suicide now because I know what's coming. West, in search of the key. The music changes. The camera pulls back. We've reached the end and blood signifies a horrific discovery. The sewer exit key is in the water. We grab it but we're ambushed. Don't think. Run. Back the way we came. Through one gate. Another. Shit. We hear scratches and oh god, we're surrounded, but somehow make it through the gate. A save point. The ladder. I don't know how much more of this my heart can take. Exhilarating and terrifying in equal measure. We climb the ladder, leaving the sewers behind, and enter the resort. Eww 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 is done. Seeing the snow fall is somehow a little comforting, but the minimalistic, bass-heavy ambience just doesn't let the soul rest. We find a first aid kit and some handgun and rifle bullets in the ruined building next to us, and as soon as we hit the road, thankfully, a map. We're going for the best ending, so our first destination here is Annie's bar. This is another area I find really hard to grasp without a map. It feels intentionally spaced out, bigger and emptier than the map suggests. In the car park there are 2 rompers and a screamer, so I have to act quickly. As we enter the bar, Kaufmann is being attacked. He kicks the mumbler, a new monster.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I guess so. This craziness can't go on forever. I better get going.
After a brief conversation, Kaufmann leaves and paging Dr. Kaufmann unlocks. He dropped something when he was attacked. We pick up the Kaufmann key and a receipt. 2 more health drinks on the bar, and Doomsday Prepper for collecting 140 items in a playthrough is done. We make a well-earned save, then check the receipt. Indian Runner 0473. Luckily, it isn't far. We make our way there, stopping to get hugged by a romper and enter the code into the lock at Indian Runner. Inside is a mess. We pocket rifle shells, a health drink, and an ominous diary. There's a shopping list on the wall with a rear entrance code 0886 signed Norman Young with a picture of the motel next to it. There's a drawer opposite with the safe key too. It serves as more of an Easter egg than anything else, but using the safe key reveals drugs. Sybil mentioned earlier that they sell them to tourists, but they couldn't find the source. We quickly move on and head down Weaver Street to find the rear door and code panel 0886. Enter. On this playthrough, I entered the garage by mistake and stashed the items. We'll be back again in a minute. We find a magnet on the sofa and head out the office front door to the motel car park. We use the Kaufmann key and inside grab a health drink from the bathroom before moving the shelf and using the magnet to retrieve a motorcycle key from a hole in the floor. We return to the garage and inspect the motorcycle, noticing dust has been wiped away around the tank. Using the motorcycle key, we find a vial hidden inside, which triggers the next achievement, Our Little Secret.
Give me that! What do you think you're doing? You want to get yourself killed? Get out of here.
Okay, take it easy.
Whatever was in the vial, Kaufmann storms off looking furious. We've just locked in one of the good endings. Failing to save Kaufmann or find the glass vial locks you into one of the bad ones. We continue west on Sandford Street towards the lake. The last set of steps before crossing the bridge hold shotgun shells and a health drink. As we reach West Sandford, the dreaded siren starts up again.
What's this? Oh.
Rather than shifting from reality to a nightmare, this is more like reality becoming a nightmare, a grim truth. We sprint along the decayed metal walkway, our footsteps echoing into the dark, the torch's faint light, our only comfort. The bellowing score rises, feeding the panic. As we run, watch for the West Garage sign on the left. That's your cue to turn immediately. On hard mode, this area is crawling with enemies, so my advice is to get most of your kills back in the school and hospital. It's far too easy to be overwhelmed here. We drop a couple of wormheads and find steps leading down to the docks. We hurry into the boat, and as we do...
Sybil,
Harry!
how did you get back here?
I followed the sewer. I want to know what's going on here. What is with this town?
You've got to believe me. I haven't gone crazy, and I'm not fooling around.
Harry explains that the other world is taking over, trying to swallow everything in darkness. He can barely make sense of it himself, only that Cheryl is there and she needs our help. Sybil doesn't believe him.
You need to rest.
The door opens.
The demon is awakening, spreading those wings. I see it all now. Hungry for sacrifice, the demon will swallow up the land. The task is almost finished. When it is completed, all is lost. Even in daytime, darkness will cover the sun. The dead will walk and martyrs will burn in the fires of hell. Everyone will die.
So what am I supposed to do? I've got to save Cheryl.
It is simple. Stop the demon. The demon taking that child's form. Stop it before your daughter becomes a sacrifice. Stop it! Stop it!
What do I do?
Go to the lighthouse on the lake and to the center of the amusement park. Make haste. You are the only hope.
I really don't get what's going on, but if there's a chance we can save your daughter, I'm in. I'll check out the amusement park. You go to the lighthouse.
Sybil, thanks.
The Flauros. Only with that can you stop it.
It's not much to go on, but at least we have a destination. We grab some supplies, save, and exit the boat via the other door. The radio sounds. We're immediately attacked by a night flutter and rompers. Running is definitely the safest option. We cross another boat, then hit land again and keep going. Up more steps, then down again. Raw instinct guides me. Up more steps. We're close now. A couple more wormheads and we bolt up the cold metal steps to the lighthouse. We climb the spiral steps and as we emerge, a huge symbol glowing with unnatural light.
Wait! Damn, I was too late.
The only option left, head for the amusement park. We return to the boat, but Sybil isn't there. We have to get to the amusement park fast if we want to save Cheryl and Sybil too. It's a race against time. Heading west on West Sanford, we find another ladder to the sewers. I don't know what's worse, and I don't stop to think. Before we descend, a brief scene shows Sybil being attacked. At least there's a map this time. We press on south. 2 swings of the hammer take down the scratcher. As we continue into the darkness, bagged and caged corpses line the tunnel. We reach the first intersection and turn left. There's a health drink and bullets. Already halfway. Suddenly 2 scratchers, then mumblers, souped up childs appear. Taking no chances, I switch to the shotgun. It's enough for gun control Alessa's new nightmare to unlock as we again set off. I'm conscious of needing to reserve bullets for the final boss, so I try to take foes on one by one. The sound mimics my urgency. 1 tunnel left. Suddenly an explosive sound as an enemy drops in from behind. 2 mumblers in front. I opt to keep running. I'm hit twice and wounded, but I have to get out. Carousel horses hang suspended in the air as we finally emerge. This ride is nearly over. We have no map here. A twisted walkway of mangled steel. The faint fairground jingle creates a harsh juxtaposition. I'm lost. I deal with a child next to a somehow sinister Ferris wheel and hit the edge of the walkway more than once. We continue to desperately feel through the dark and stumble across a carousel. It's worth switching off PGXP and widescreen here as the cutscene after Sybil is the final time that the game can crash. There's something really wrong with her. It's time to use the unknown liquid from the hospital to lock in the good plus ending. We get close and toss it at her. A parasite leaves her body. Harry stomps it.
Sybil, wake up. Snap out of it.
Harry, what happened? Harry, why did they take your daughter?
I'm not sure myself.
Harry explains Cheryl is adopted and no one knows who her biological parents are.
There might be some connection between Cheryl and this town. I will save her no matter what.
Pour some sugar on me baby pops for saving Sybil and the demon masquerading as Alessa returns.
Let Cheryl go. That's all I ask.
Harry is knocked back. An invisible force stops him, but as he gets up, the Flauros activates.
Where's Cheryl? Give me back my daughter.
We meet at last, Alessa. This is the end of your little game. Mama? You've been a ghastly little pest, haven't you, Alessa? There is one thing left I need you to do for me.
No! Get away from me!
Everything is ready. Let's go home.
We lose consciousness. Lisa.
Harry, listen.
What is it, Lisa?
Lisa explains she checked the hospital basement. She had a weird feeling like she'd been there before, but she couldn't remember how.
I'm so scared. I can't take this.
You're in shock from when you were knocked out.
No. You don't understand.
Wait! Where do you think you're going?
A strange rumbling sound fills the room. We're back in the Otherworld hospital. A corroded gangway leads us to a lift.
I'm being summoned.
It's clearly the closing chapter. We take the lift. Nowhere is an incredibly confusing mix of corridors and doors leading to various places from throughout the game. Hopefully, the map on screen will give you some guidance to this confusing hell. The first room on the left has a key wedged into a faucet. We need something to remove it. As we exit, more nurses. The hammer makes quick work of them. The next room has a birdcage like the one from the hospital. There's a key locked inside. Several doors here are locked. The next door takes us to the antique shop, which handily has a save point, a first aid kit, and some shotgun ammo. The only remaining door that's open takes us downstairs to the basement, if you can call it that. There's a classroom with a single desk and a lone door leading to another hospital room where a filthy gurney holds a screwdriver and pliers. We make our way back to the faucet room and use the pliers to obtain the key of Ophiel. The door next to the stairs to the basement is now accessible, leading to an almost identical hallway on the other side. Confusion sets in as I try to create some sort of map in my head. The second door leads to a new puzzle, though this one's pretty easy. A series of pictures with numbers underneath them. The numbers correspond to the arms and legs in the pictures. 6, 4, 8. With the Stone of Time obtained, we have to head back to the antique shop. Be on guard for nurses. They keep appearing throughout. A clue at the end of the corridor tells us to order the Grim Reaper's list from young to old. A lettered panel and the Grim Reaper's list. Looking at the ages from youngest to oldest, we see the answer. ALERT. Alert. We hastily enter the code for Grim Reaper's list. We pass through a mostly empty room to the morgue. On the wall, an amulet of Solomon. We take it and leave.
Harry,
Lisa, what's the matter with you?
I get it now. Why I'm still alive even though everyone else is dead. I'm not the only one who's still walking around. I'm the same as them. I just hadn't noticed it before.
Lisa.
Stay by me, Harry. Please. I'm so scared. Help me. Save me from them. Please. Harry? That terror when things are out of control. Not knowing your fate. It's palpable. We have to leave her. I forgot to return to the room here, so I did it on my second run. But there's an achievement for reading Lisa's diary that we'll get shortly. We return to the clock and use the Stone of Time. We take a key of Haggith and unlock the double doors at the end of the first hall. Another lift. We ride to the second floor. The first two doors are jammed. The third leads to a room with display cases. We collect a crest of mercury, rifle ammo, and a ring of contract, then leave. The next hallway's first 2 doors are locked. The third takes us back to the first floor hallway. Almost opposite, we get handgun ammo and a camera. Note the camera isn't required for future runs. The door at the end leads back to the hospital and metal plate room. I used the screwdriver, but electricity flows through the key behind it, so we can't take it yet. We head to the 3rd floor. Another strikingly odd room. An altar, some paintings, and 2 doors. The light to the future is our hint to use the camera, revealing a hidden sequence for the door. I snap the other side too. We simply copy the pattern on the painting using the notches on the door to unlock it. The birdcage key, finally. And on the other side, Illuminating the Darkness pops for unlocking it. There's a health drink inside, and again, this can be skipped for speed in future runs, though obviously the birdcage key can't. Using the birdcage key nets us a key of Phaleg, which happens to be the door immediately to the right on exit. Make a save here, we're about to die on purpose. I also strongly advise switching to a gun, as behind the Phaleg door are the final non-boss enemies, Stalkers. They can barely be seen and are extremely powerful, so it's best to take them out straight away using the radio silence as your cue. It's safe. The first door on the right is a kitchen with a fridge and a broken chain. We have to take the dagger of Melchior and leave. What's going on with that refrigerator is ours for sacrificing poor Harry. Now to do it properly. We use the Ring of Contract to link the chain, allowing us to obtain the dagger of Melchior safely. The next door on the right is a storeroom containing rounds, a health drink, and a packet of jelly beans. Harry rips it open, and inside a key was hidden, the key of Bethor. The door at the back of the storeroom takes us to the hospital's VCR room. We play the videotape again.
What is it? Still has an unusually high fever. Eyes don't open. Getting a pulse, but just barely breathing. Her skin is all charred. Even when I change the bandages, the blood and pus just start oozing through. Why? What is keeping that child alive? I can't stand it any longer. I won't tell a soul. Promise. So please.
What is keeping that child alive unlocks, and the echoes of the words linger in my ears. The final door on the right is locked. Opposite, we reach Alessa's bedroom. A notepad on her desk offers minor reassurance. Next to her room on the right is an attic where we pick up an Ankh. Finally, the last room on the right is unlocked and we power down the generator. We now have access to the key that was electrified on the 2nd floor. The shortcut is through this door. Beware of more stalkers here too. We take the key of Aratron from the final room on the left and return to the Phaleg Hall to unlock the last door on the right. A brief cutscene plays with Dahlia, Kaufmann, and several others discussing the use of dark magic over Alessa's barely alive and severely burned body. Next to Alessa's photo is a disc of Ouroboros, which we take as the last item needed to open the door at the back of Alessa's bedroom. Make sure you save here, we're right at the final boss. For my first playthrough, this is the only boss I used the rifle on since ammo is so limited. We can't move while aiming, so the strategy is to fire several shots, then keep running in a tight circle. But first, a couple of cutscenes. We see Dahlia trying to force Alessa into something she doesn't want to do.
It will make everyone happy, and it's for your own good, too.
Mommy!
The apparitions disappear and we head downstairs as our only option. Dahlia says,
It's all because of that man. We must be thankful to him. Even though Alessa has been stopped, his little girl has to go. What a pity.
Sybil tries to shoot Dahlia, but it's not very effective.
Where's Cheryl? What have you done to her?
Don't you see? She's right there.
Why are you doing this?
Dahlia explains that they've been keeping Alessa's body alive for 7 years. Cheryl is one half of Alessa's soul, and Dahlia cast a spell to lure her back. With the soul rejoined,
The time is nigh. Our salvation is at hand. This is the day of reckoning, when we return to the true paradise. My daughter will be the mother of God.
a blinding light erupts. Incubator is born. Kaufmann appears and shoots Dahlia.
Quit screwing around. Return things to how they were before. Nobody uses me.
Your role is over. We don't need you anymore.
Kaufmann presents the vial.
A glove-it-is! I thought I got rid of that!
And there's more where this came from.
Stop it!
Kaufmann launches the vial at Incubator.
What the?
Incubus bursts from a huge tear in Incubator's back. It takes flight and kills Dahlia. You can safely get 6 rifle shots in if you're quick. The sound of thunder means an attack is imminent, so start running in a circle. More shots, 3 or 4 safely before circling again. If you get struck, immediately open your inventory. Incubus and Incubator can kill almost instantly. Keep following the same pattern and heal up if you get hit. Keep firing in the gaps between attacks. Damn, out of bullets. No matter, the shotgun is also great for the final battle. With a final shot, my heaven unlocks for defeating Incubus. A blinding light. Incubator presents a baby to Harry. From death comes new life. Lisa grabs Kaufmann to stop him escaping, and Sybil and Harry make their way out as the hell behind them collapses. Silent Hill is a truly life-changing experience for me. No other game shaped the horror genre in such a profound way. We're nowhere near done yet, of course. There are still plenty of challenges ahead, but the pace will quicken now as we begin to tame the remainder of this beast. A final brief scene shows Harry and Sybil with a baby, mirroring the game's opening with Harry and his wife. A beautiful final touch. Similar to Resident Evil, we then reach a ranking screen. Harry the OK and Harry the Good unlock for earning 3 and 5 stars, along with Tears of for the Good Plus ending. Because Next Fear increases the difficulty, every remaining playthrough is on hard. Bullet Adjust also rises each time, so the second run is usually the toughest. You can choose to go for the worst or UFO ending first to make things easier, but I decided both good endings, the UFO ending, then both bad. My second playthrough focused on cleaning up the Scary Harry achievements and racking up chainsaw kills. Our first achievement comes from entering the convenience store and pocketing the channeling stone for that light. We'll be using it later for the UFO ending. It's best to keep checking near the bins for bullets this time. Oh shit, handgun bullets. Cheers, Doris. Totally bitching. Our first challenge this run is killing 5 enemies in a row with melee weapons while both the torch and radio are off. This has to be done in the alternate school. You can make things easier by using special weapons, but I found the trusty pipe more than capable, and I only got killed once attempting it. The first place you can do this is in the north hallway and hall. Take down the 2 childs, then clear out 3 creepers in the hall. Scary Harry 1 complete. A short time later, we defeat Split Head on hard for the Archer and the Beast. Remember that garage just past the church? Now we can finally grab the gas tank. You've got a choice here between the rock drill and the chainsaw, and I picked the latter. Pour in the gasoline, fire it up, and grab the chainsaw. It packs a punch. The range isn't great, but that sound as it tears into flesh more than makes up for it. We need 30 chainsaw kills for another achievement, and it doubles up nicely for skinning nurses in the dark for Scary Harry 2. Light off, radio off, alternate hospital. And we cleave our way to Scary Harry 2. A short time and a stack of bodies later, Silent Hill Chainsaw Massacre is complete. On this next run, the next wins are the Pit of Calamity and soon after Erratic for both bosses on hard. I felt a touch more confident entering the sewers armed with the chainsaw for our next Scary Harry mission. The radio doesn't work down here, so just keep the torch off. My first attempt ended in a quick death. Creepers are a pain in the ass in the dark, and Harry's heavy breathing is never a good sign. One more hit from a scratcher and I was done for. In the end, I weakened the creepers with a single shot each before switching back to the darkness, finishing them off properly this time. Finally, Scary Harry 3 is ours. I chose to do Scary Harry 4 in the only relatively enclosed space I could find, down near the docks. It felt too open anywhere else, and this one requires 10 kills instead of 5. We have to play this one stealthily. Rompers are far too fast, so sneaking is the only option. A heavy blow to the head with the hammer takes them out in one. Here's the self view I mentioned earlier. It makes enclosed spaces and sneaking easier by pulling the camera right in behind Harry's head. This run I got close, 7 kills, but a night flutter ended me. Here's how I did it. From the boat, turn the torch and radio off and head backwards towards the resort. Walk slowly up the steps and carefully take out the 2 worm heads. If they don't come close, a swing will alert them. Head back into the ship's main cabin, then back out again. The worm heads respawn, so take them out again for kills 3 and 4. That attended to, head back through the boat towards the lighthouse. Walk slowly up the steps to kill the romper. Another one stalks the opposite end. Head down the steps and walk across the boat. If you run, you're likely to be chased by flutters. Past this fence are 2 more, so try to locate them before attacking. Only 2 left now. Up the steps and past the lighthouse sign is another romper. Finally, a night flutter is waiting for us. With a bit of luck and without getting as close as I did, we can take it down for Scary Harry 4. That one felt great. Scary Harry 5 takes place in the second sewer visit, and wielding the chainsaw, it's pretty easy. Just make sure you keep running in the high-ceilinged areas so scratchers can't grab us. The first 3 done, and finishing with a mumbler and final scratcher nets us Scary Harry 5, and mercifully we can use the torch again. The next one was so tough it caught me off guard. We completed the Kaufmann quest earlier, saving him and locking in one of the good endings, so this time we need to regrettably kill Sybil. This lady is so tough she could probably outlive being hit by a truck.
No way.
Seriously, she's like Rambo. We shoot more holes in her than Swiss cheese, but she still keeps coming. 20 minutes and about 600 shots later, I discovered the best way was keeping her mid-distance. When the poor woman finally has had enough, she goes down hard, dying horrifically. What the hell indeed. Merry-go-down complete. Before our final Scary Harry, it's time to mop up the one I missed earlier. We're in nowhere and I'm deliberately not killing the nurses yet, but just leaving them to wander. We enter Alert again and watch the heart-wrenching scene with Lisa. We re-enter this time to find her diary open on the floor. It's pretty somber. Lisa's so broken by caring for Alessa that she walks away. But by then her own descent had already begun. No one deserves that fate. Wounds that won't heal. Tragic. I swayed past a couple of nurses in the first hall to make a save before our final scary Harry. At this point, you should have the key of Haggith, but without killing any nurses. Use the Haggith key to access the lift, head to the 3rd floor and unlock the door to get the birdcage key. Head to the 2nd floor and make your way as a pacifist to the 2nd hallway. It's a bit of a pain since we have to lure the nurses out of the way, but we get to the double doors, unlock them and gain access to the first area. Grab the key of Phalag from the birdcage, unlock the door on the right just in case and make a save. Torch and radio off, it's chainsaw time. Spawns for nurses can vary a bit, but for me there was 1 in the hall, 3 in the faucet room, then through the double doors back on the 2nd floor yielded 3 more, and the final 3 were in the next hall on the way to the lift. Scary Harry 6 in the bag. No wonder there's a nurse shortage. To round off this playthrough, Kaufmann uses the vial. Incubus emerges and the fight begins. Evil energy rains down. We fire 4 more shots, Sifod unlocks, and Harry grabs the baby before running into the fog. I feel bad for Sybil, but her sacrifice nets us killing time for the good ending. Next up, we're going for the UFO ending, but quick plug before we blast off. I'll be tackling Dino Crisis when we hit 3,000 subscribers, so if you're enjoying the chaos, hit like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference.
That's disgusting.
Don't forget bullet adjustment before we go. Back at the convenience store, we grab the channeling stone. It's crucial on this run, and we'll be using it in a few key spots to trigger the ending. In the alternate school, head to the roof. Whip open the inventory and use the channeling stone.
What?
UFO Sighting I is ours, as simple as that. Don't forget to grab the gas tank for the 2nd special weapon. The rock drill is another fun monster mangler. You can't move using it, but enemies happily walk into it and do the job for us. As a bonus, the poor nurses can't get near us. Our huge tool blocks them dead. Cornered but capable, we slaughter the last couple and drilling like a villain pops for 30 fatalities. After the madness of the Nightmare Town and returning to Lisa, we see the cutscene where she mentions heading to the waterworks. Before Float Stinger, as we leave the hospital, use the channeling stone again. UFO Sighting II down, 3 to go. Fast forward to the resort and our 3rd channeling stone location is the motel car park.
What?
I love how his reaction is exactly the same every time. Bless you, Harry. UFO Sighting III. A short time later, past the horrifying decayed body, we reach the boat, our 4th location. More appear, and UFO Sighting IV is done. With a final dash, we reach the lighthouse. We're too late for Alessa, but not for aliens apparently. That light. UFO Sighting V in the bag and a wonderful little closing that's as bonkers as the rest of the game. Poor Harry. Ayyy on the prize. 2 more endings, a handful of achievements, and the waking nightmare that is the 10-star rank remain. I had a lot of fun with this playthrough, mostly because we now have the Hyper Blaster. I didn't know it at the time, but my pitiful 4.2 ranking meant the blaster fired a red laser with the stopping power of the handgun. The green version is the most powerful and requires a 10-star rank to unlock. No matter, mowing down monsters with a laser gun modelled after Konami's light gun is every bit as ridiculous and fun as it sounds. The kills come thick and fast, and we haven't even reached the school yet, where we're nearly mauled but counter for a gift from outer space. The dog had it coming. I also avoided maps entirely in this run, earning like the back of my hand 1 for completing the school without one, like the back of my hand 2 for reaching Float Stinger without either hospital map, like the back of my hand 3 for exiting the first sewers blind, like the back of my hand 4 for reaching the sewers from the resort map free, and like the back of my hand 5 for braving the second sewers with nothing but the torch and misplaced optimism. For the next 2 playthroughs, we let Kaufmann get eaten by the Mumbler. A shame we don't actually see it. This time we throw the unknown liquid at Sybil to save her from the parasite, and fight Incubator while Kaufmann's in Annie's bar being eaten by cats. The best tactic here is simple: point and shoot. Make her eat rifle rounds and heal when she zaps us. A few more bullets, and a crimson shower later, awakening, and thank you Pop for defeating her on hard. The bad plus ending is pretty raw.
Thank you, Daddy. Goodbye.
This can't be happening. Cheryl!
Sybil slaps Harry, and that's it, unfortunately. She is done. It's our worst ending, meaning we shaft everyone else, and because we already did the bad plus ending, we've unlocked the katana, which requires both a good and bad ending to unlock. In the house on Levin Street, the side room's now open. It's dark here because I nearly forgot to pick it up. I've seen people swear by the katana, but swinging it pushes Harry forward quite a bit, and I find the timing tricky. Since the child lunges at us, it turns into a case of whipping them while they're down. I burned through a lot of health drinks in the school before finally getting Harry the Weeb for 30 kills in one session. Because we're letting everyone else die, we make Incubator join them and see Harry inconsolable once more. And just to really hammer it home, Harry was dying of a brain injury this whole time. Brutal. Esperandote accomplished. It all comes down to this. Just 4 achievements remain. It took me 3 more playthroughs to master the game, because a single mistake can void an entire run. These final attempts push me to the limit, so here are the most important things to remember and a few ways to prepare yourself for the final stretch. I strongly suggest setting aside at least 4 hours for a 10-star rank attempt. You'll need the game fresh in your mind, so plan a short practice run before the real thing. On playthrough 6, I earned Daring Harry for saving no more than twice, and Harry the Great for hitting at least 8 stars with my 9.1 score. My failings? Continuing twice, time taken, and total enemy kills. I downloaded a multi-counter app on my phone to track kills. They need to be roughly even between fighting and shooting, with more than 100 of each. You also have to finish in under 90 minutes, can't miss too many shots, can't use the shotgun on normal enemies, and can only continue once at most. It's an absolutely massive undertaking, and for me the time limit was the harshest part of it all. Playthrough 7 was closer, but I screwed up and died twice. Harry the Swift popped as I scraped by with less than a minute to spare and scored an agonizing 9.9 out of 10. Needless to say, I was angry and more than a little stressed at this point. I learned that if you load the game from your save instead of continuing when you die, it doesn't count as an extra continue. I also studied. Roomin' in Love did an excellent video I've linked below with some really good tips I didn't know, like the invincibility frames with Float Stinger. To clarify, the requirements are hard mode on Next Fear, 5 game clears, the good plus ending, 2 saves or less, 1 continue or less, 90 minutes or less, 150 items or more picked up, maps don't count, plus 5 extra items that are only found in Next Fear. The specialist weapons, channeling stone, and gas tank all count. There's a convoluted formula for kills, so aim for 100 of each. There's also a formula that allows some special weapon hits depending on how many clears you have, but honestly it's better to not use them at all. The limit for special hits starts at 40 on the 5th clear. We can skip the initial alley where the pipe and note are completely. Some people skip the convenience store for time, but I managed to keep it in. From there, south into the alley for the first key, then north on the way out, east to the second, and south to the third is fastest. Stop by the 2 alleys on the way to increase kills and item pickups. We have to grab the doghouse note to unlock the house key in the kennel. In the hospital, the best route is 3rd floor, 1st, 2nd, then basement last. Don't bother with flying enemies unless they flap right in front of you. I found self-view really helpful for navigating classrooms and avoiding childs. If you need to rest, the only safe screen is the save screen, otherwise the clock keeps ticking. In the hospital, we can boost our accuracy by shooting enemies at close range with the torch off. Those count as mid-range hits instead of close range. Using Roomin' Love's method, I never lost accuracy even after missing a few shots across my runs. For saving, I suggest before Split Head and before Incubus. Split Head can swallow you whole and Incubus hits hard, so save there, and remember, if you die, load your save, don't continue. That trick saved my run. Groaners can't hit us if we walk backwards while aiming. Coupled with shooting them in the face, they're much easier to take down. Grey Childs take 5 bullets. Scratchers take 2 rifle shots, and I recommend switching to the rifle for the final sewer visit. If you've been hoarding rifle ammo and avoiding using it earlier, you'll have enough to finish the game and kill Incubus. If not, the shotgun's a solid backup. Because I died earlier, I wasn't sure if my run would count after reloading my save. brave. When I finally killed Incubus, I genuinely didn't know if I'd pulled it off. In a way, that made the final moments easier. I thought I'd already lost. Harry the Best popped at the results screen and I shouted yes! Full fist pump as every result turned yellow. 10 stars acquired. Silent Hill mastered. If you'd like to see exactly how I did it, I'm uploading my full 10-star rank run unedited on my second channel so you can follow along in real time. The link is below. I hope you enjoyed this madness, and if you're thirsty for more horror, check out Resident Evil. I'm out. Remember, nostalgia slaps hardest.